And a warm welcome to Diaspora Connect, where we champion excellence by spotlighting the resilience of Nigerian citizens, breaking barriers and making a difference across the world. Here on the show, we explore identity, origin, and diverse journeys of Nigerians in the diaspora. I am Abosodi Adene Aderemi. Let's get the show started with Diaspora News. In Diaspora News, Chairman of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, NIDCOM, Abike Dabiri-Rewa, has encouraged Africans living abroad to see themselves as the bridge connecting the continent to global opportunities. At the 2026 Black Engineering Week in San Jose, California, Mrs. Dabiri-Rewa challenged African professionals in the diaspora to channel their knowledge, influence, and resources into driving innovation, investment, and sustainable development. While addressing engineers, entrepreneurs, investors, and technology leaders, Mrs. Dabiri-Rewa rejected the notion of brain drain, describing Africans in the diaspora instead as a source of brain gain and brain circulation. She said diaspora professionals are helping to shape global technological advancement while creating new opportunities for growth on the African continent. The NIDCOM chairman says the commission is collaborating with state government and international partners to expand remote work opportunities and make it easier for global companies to recruit skilled professionals from Nigeria.
Let's stop asking, can Africa join the tech future? I hear that all the time. Can Africa join the tech future? Is there an answer to that? I think the question should be, how fast can we connect the talent that's already here to the capital that's already there? Across the bridge, we must now finish the building. Now, we have to get everything right. The next Flutter Wave, the next NVIDIA of climate tech, the next AI model, trained on African languages, will be born on a bridge between San Jose and Lagos. And that's part of why we're here. So, let's stop waiting for the bridge. Let us be the bridge. So I challenge you, all of you in this room, as Africans in the diaspora, there's so much you can do, and there's so much you will do. We count on you to do a lot of things. We want to engage more with you. And I'm not saying pack your bags and come home, but wherever you are the tech giants. Stretch a hand of friendship, a hand of support, a hand of capacity building, a hand of mentorship, a hand of raising one other young African talent that's probably wasting away. You'll be the bridge between Africa and every one of us here. So as we have this conversation, I want to leave here with a promise that we will all build that bridge, that will make a connection and make a difference for where we all come from.
Well, Diaspora connect you to your roots. So let's check out these fun facts on our Did You Know segment. Some incredible facts there. Now to our spotlight. Today on the program, we are focusing on diaspora remittances, how wealth, private equity, FDI can transform Africa's economy. My guest is Dr. Stephen Akintayo. Stephen Akintayo is a Houston-based global investment entrepreneur, private equity investor, real estate expert, author, and philanthropist. He is founder and chairman of SASE Holdings, a private equity and venture capital firm focused on building and scaling businesses across real estate, technology, artificial intelligence, education, media, and investment. He built one of Africa's leading real estate and investment brands before strategically expanding his operations to the United States. Through SASE Holdings, he is driving cross-border investment, diaspora wealth creation, and global business partnerships connecting Africa, the U.S., the UK, and the Middle East. A graduate of Olabisi Onabanjo University, he has completed executive programs at Harvard University and holds honorary doctorates in real estate development and strategic leadership. He is also the founder of the Stephen Akintayo Foundation and Stephen Akintayo University, initiatives dedicated to entrepreneurship, financial literacy, and economic empowerment. A prolific author of more than 45 books, international speaker and convener of major global investment conferences, Stephen Akintayo has received numerous honors, including the Forbes Best of Africa Leading Investment Coach and Real Estate Global Award. On Diaspora Connect, Stephen Akintayo brings valuable insights on private equity, global investing, real estate, entrepreneurship, diaspora wealth creation, and building globally competitive African businesses. Stephen Akintayo, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me. It's good to be here.
It's really so good to have you. So let's take it from the very beginning. How did you move from microbiology, a core science degree, to private equity and other business ventures?
Wow. Well, so how do I put this now? Should I say not getting a job, right? So I shared this with people that the challenge with unemployment didn't start today. It's over a decade, over 15 years ago when I graduated. I wrote 100 CVs. And I had a cover letter that said, do not pay me for 6 months until I prove myself. And nobody will still give me a job. And so I had no choice than to employ myself. I think one of the places I dropped my CV, the person looked at me and said, look, let me be honest with you, there's no job in Nigeria. You've done some businesses when you're on campus. It's wisdom to just continue those businesses and see where it takes you. But if I'm telling you, we'll call you back, there's a job, deceiving you. And so I had no choice than to continue some of the businesses I started on campus and see where God has taken us. So we started with bulk SMS and digital marketing. We used to build websites, we used to help companies send bulk SMS, email marketing, so on and so forth. It grew to us handling presidential elections. I think in 2015 we handled the entire bomb. Yes,
so Mr. Akintayo, it's like a case of the unemployment or your inability to get a job being blessing in disguise, because perhaps if you had been employed, who knows what would have been earned. But wait, is it that you were asking for too much? Was it that you were asking for a salary that they considered too high for maybe your level at that point?
No, I did a cover letter that said, don't pay me for 6 months.
And even at that, you did not get something.
Yes, and I printed 100 CVs. I was that determined that no matter what.
So,
but the first place I took the CV to, they said there's no table and chair. The second place, the reception took my CV and walked away, and I was left alone at the reception for a long time. So I had to excuse myself from their property. It was at the third place, and that was the last place I ever took my CV to. that the man looked at me. I was like an angel. So you've done something before. I said, continue these things you've done and watch what will happen. So I said, I'm done.
So thankful for that angel in human form in the third property, in the third company that told you to look inward, look at what you've done in the past, and then see how you can further harness that to your advantage. So thankful for that. And at what point did you decide that, okay, I've done so much in Nigeria, but I want to now adopt the USA as home? And how was it for you settling in? Any culture shocks?
Well, the first location was Dubai. So 2020, we expanded to Dubai. Now I've had to open companies in US, UK, Dubai prior to this time, but didn't relocate until 2020. It was just after COVID, and then everybody felt it was the wrong move. But I had known that there's a need to diversify, there's a need to expand, and there are a lot of opportunities. I mean, when you look at the evolution of either UAE and other Arab countries, one of the things they did was to start expanding externally, right? Look at how UAE bought what we call Man City as a club, and you have the Emirates, so they started marketing aggressively externally, but also buying companies outside of their countries. So I always say, just similar to what you said, Mrs. Abike Dabiri was saying, that brain drain is now brain gain, and the Indians have done this as well, where you also have to externally export your talent, but externally also export your businesses for people to see those businesses run. And then gradually also, of course, some of those money will over time come back home as well.
It's quite incredible that at 40 years old, you're an author of no fewer than 45 books. How do you do it? How many books do you write in a year?
Well, I started by publishing, I think, 2 books, and then I did another 2. And then at some point, I was doing, just 1 or 2 a year, but later it scaled to being doing 5 or 10. But the secret is this: I do a lot of video content, and I have a very good team that then transcribe, edits, and we turn it to books. So that way I don't need to always physically write the entire portion of my books. And that has been very, very helpful. And we've even helped other people to author their books as well using this method. Because if you're a busy entrepreneur and you want to scribble down everything in your book, you probably will never write that book. You will keep claiming, I'll publish my book soon. Yeah. But many of us, we do videos, we have interviews, we do training, we do coaching sessions. All that can be transcribed and edited.
But do you have any challenge, Ms. Akintayo, do you have any challenge with maybe you feel that, this point I seem to be emphasizing here has already been addressed in a previous book? Have you had that experience before?
Yeah, so that's the beauty of not doing by yourself and having, in our case, we have a whole team, right? My personal team that handle my office, it's about 20 staff, right? There are editors, there are transcribers, there are, tech guys, there are guys in charge of marketing. Today I have millions of followers on social media, and I'm very active. Even now with AI, people say a lot of my AI content. I'm not the only one. Social media handle alone, we have over 4 of us who handle my social media brand. So we are always able to check what's the topic for this book, as if we're having to quote, maybe we'll also refer it that, in this other book, we talked about this. So that has helped in a great way.
All right. Now let's talk about Nigeria's diaspora remittances, and of course we can relate this to the entire continent of Africa. For Nigeria, diaspora remittances in 2025 stabilized between an estimated $21.8 billion and $23 billion, and it actually accounted for roughly 6% of the national GDP. It even surpassed FDI and net oil earnings. How do we make the most of this for Nigeria as a country and for the continent of Africa?
Well, I honestly believe that, we're not even scratched the surface of remittance in Africa. I think that remittance can go even more than that. I believe the earnings of remittance, if well managed, well put together, and trust is built, I strongly believe Nigeria alone can be getting over $200 billion every year from remittances, and probably even hit $1 trillion at some point. And the reason is because we are one of the few immigrants who are highly skilled. So you look at Nigerian doctors, Nigerian nurses, Nigerian engineers. The similarity is India, to be honest. India also in the 80s and 90s had this huge, you can call it brain drain as it were, but they were still passionate about India, they were still passionate about their country, and they were remitting. I think over time, one of the things that changed was they got leadership, political leadership that people could trust, and the things started getting a bit better. I think that there's a huge trust deficit. People feel, and sometimes government isn't helping to handle that brand aspect of things. So I'll give you a practical example. If in UAE, there was a time where people felt they were investing in properties and they don't get value at the end of the day. One of the things the government did was to come up with a company called RERA. And RERA started to say, you know what, if you buy property from anybody and you don't get value, the government will pay you back if you can prove to us indeed that you paid, you didn't get value. And we will find a way to go collect our money back, right? And that started building trust. So I feel that there's a need to have a way to manage that. Sometimes even it's just what people hear. Oh, there's huge insecurity. I mean, I visit Nigeria often. I do a lot of public speaking. You will still have businesses in Nigeria that will have interest in, though I don't manage the day-to-day running anymore. But sometimes I'm speaking to Nigerians here, and you can see them say, they said, they kidnap everybody. I'm even scared. Like, wait, I don't understand. Why are you scared? Nigeria is still relatively safe. There are, of course,
sorry to butt in. So with this, I'm glad that you as an individual have a picture of what is happening. And I'm glad that you are able to paint this correct picture to other Nigerians in the diaspora and, lovers of Nigeria who really just want to know what is happening back home. How do we correct that trend? Because every now and again, for instance, we see the NIDCOM chairman, Mrs. Dabirirewa, across the country meeting with the Nigerian community, African communities there, talking about what is happening in Nigeria. We see our leaders at different points engage with the international community. And as a matter of fact, even the president, being the chief marketing officer of the country, at several times we see him on trips, all in the name of and for the purpose of marketing Nigeria. So how do we fix that? Because if Nigerian citizens, Nigerian nationals in the diaspora themselves doubt what is happening, then what are we selling? How do we get those Nigerians to be patriotic and to ensure that we really pass this good message out there and paint the correct picture?
I think they are patriotic. I think that we just haven't understand PR. And this needs to go beyond the president. I mean, Mrs. Abike, I'm a big fan of her. She's doing a fantastic job. But it goes beyond that. It's from government agencies. It's how we treat investors. It's perception of how we treat investors. Now, some of the highest, I'll give you an example, some of the highest investors in real estate in Nigeria are those in diaspora. So if I hear, that somebody built a house and it was demolished under whatever, circumstance, right? And the money wasn't given back. Most of those investors are from diaspora. Now the developer may be in Nigeria, but diaspora. In fact, some cases the developer also moved from Nigeria move from diaspora to come to Nigeria and try and do something. And when it doesn't work, it gives this perception of we told you. In fact, you see people here say, I told you. Why go back home? Just keep doing your things here. So it's across Africa, it's not just in Nigeria. And so we need government, civil servants, and that's where I'm going. To begin, I just told you about going to a civil service in UAE, and I'm able to rate them. It's like I'm in a bank. Right? Everybody understand that you attend to somebody on time. You treat them like you give them the dignity that they deserve. Not that I have a document, I'm trying to get something signed. I have to wait. I have to keep coming back like I'm jobless. Then, we have to get Ogao, and then the Ogato comes and is acting in a way. So if our civil service can improve and begin to function well, right? If the way we treat some of our, diasporan investors who are still investing back in Africa, all right? If we treat them right, I get better dignity running business here in the US than I get in Nigeria. Almost every month, there's always that somebody has carried your Nigerian business to the police, to one agency or the other, even when there are civil cases, even when there are cases that the person, if you have a dispute, go to court. But you see all this, and these interferences waste time.
All right.
They discourage even talent. We've lost a lot of employees who have moved to Canada from our Nigerian business, who have moved to UK or elsewhere. So there's a need for, I think it's a consciousness by everybody in Nigeria to know that we need to change how we talk, how we market the country. I'm running an executive MBA with Harvard University, and there were 4 of us who are Nigerians. I remember I had to do a Nigerian day, food tasting day. And one of our Nigerian guys in class one day had to say, I don't trust Nigerians. A Nigerian saying that in a class of 180 people, we're only 4 of us from Nigeria. And you are saying it to everybody, I don't trust Nigerians.
So there's need for a reorientation of all citizens.
Exactly.
And it doesn't have to do with only the leaders. From the oldest, the most highly placed to the most lowly placed, everyone has to be committed to it. Time is running out, but I really need to ask you this other question. I know you shuttle between Nigeria and other parts of the world, but if you were to carry Nigeria with you everywhere you go, what item would that be? And what is your advice to young Nigerians who seem to be stuck and who are considering relocating abroad?
I carry Nigeria everywhere with me. You will have seen me always wearing my badan and my cap, either Hausa cap or Yoruba cap. And I do that even when I get interviewed here in the US. And I do that intentionally. Sometimes, like now I'm dressed in English.
You're not wearing your agbada now. You're not putting your
but it's Nigeria. But if it's international media, I'm always wearing that. And it's intentional. The goal is to communicate in a subtle way that we have a lot of Nigerians doing well. Everybody's not yahoo yahoo. Everybody's not doing drugs. There are a lot of hardworking Nigerians who are doing the right thing to grow their businesses anywhere they are. My advice to those who want to japa is, if you're going to, leave Nigeria, think entrepreneurship. And this is a message I'm preaching right now. I do a lot of tours across the globe, a lot of trainings, a lot of conferences, where I encourage Nigerians to think ownership. Don't just think of looking for a job. Right now, globally, you can see there's a major pushback against immigration globally. So countries no longer want people to come and take their jobs. They want people to come and produce jobs, to create jobs. So we need to think entrepreneurship. Don't just japa, rather expand your business. Don't shut down. I've seen people shut down what they have in Africa, just to go and expand elsewhere. And when they get outside of Africa, they end up picking up a job. They don't even start a business. Rather than still, you can change the ownership. I had to hand over being the chairman of our company even this year in Nigeria to somebody else to run it, so I can focus on what we're doing here in the US. But whatever happens, don't shut down. Don't sell everything, your house, your car, and then leave for somewhere you are not even sure what will happen in the new country you're going to. And keep speaking positive. Yes, there are challenges. I want you to say them when we see them. But let's remain optimistic that this country will get better.
Indeed, remain optimistic. That is the way to go. Global investment entrepreneur, private equity investor, real estate expert, author, philanthropist. Let me just use the word Bobonishe, Stephen Akitayo. Thank you very much for your time on the program.
Thank you for having me.
Wow, what a conversation there. As we wrap up the show today, remember that point about you may want to move. That's not bad, but how do you move? Where are you going? Don't shut down your life here simply because you want to go out there. Try keep something here. You never know what it looks like over there. And remember also that the grass is only greener where it is being watered. Not necessarily because you stepped out, so it has to be consistently watered for you to see that growth. Until the next time, keep exuding the glow of a true Nigerian, the unbeatable Naija spirit. I am Abosede Adeni Adremi. I will see you again. Bye for now.